Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm sharing how I went from being nervous to post on LinkedIn to having LinkedIn become a client. I'm sharing this especially for those of you who may be just starting out on LinkedIn, or if you're like me, an introvert, perhaps you want to see what's possible when you choose courage over comfort and get intentional about establishing your personal brand and becoming known for something in your industry. As always, here's what we'll be covering in this video on screen. And in case we've not met yet, I'm Marielle, a global speaker, LinkedIn top voice, and LinkedIn learning instructor. And this channel is all about equipping you with the tools to establish your personal brand, develop your self-leadership skills, and well-being. So let's get into it. If you had told me a few years ago that I would have LinkedIn as a client, I wouldn't have believed you. As an introvert, I used to get so nervous when it came to posting and sharing my opinions confidently on LinkedIn. I really did feel like a small fish in a big pond. And I think it stems partly from working in a corporate environment for so long, where it was often discouraged from posting on LinkedIn. So then to become a business owner and have to stand on my own 2 feet, it felt really uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I would often ask myself, what would people think? People are going to judge me. My old boss is going to see me. All of these crazy thoughts would go through my head. Maybe you can relate. The turning point came for me one day when I remember coming across a really powerful quote from Brene Brown, and she said, "We can choose courage or we can choose comfort, but we can't have both, not at the same time." Wow, that blew my mind because I realized I was often choosing to stay in my comfort zone. But I also recognized that as a business owner and somebody who wanted to create my own lane, LinkedIn could be the perfect place to start sharing my voice so long as I was courageous enough. And it wasn't an overnight change, but a gradual process. I started by engaging with other posts, leaving comments, and slowly but surely, I mustered the courage to start sharing my own opinions. And encouraged by this initial success, I began to create my own content strategy centered around personal branding, an area that I felt really passionate about and knowledgeable about given my corporate background where I had been doing PR for CEOs for over a decade. I started sharing clips, testimonials, personal stories of overcoming fear and speaking up as an introvert at work. And then I began to notice that with each post, not only did my network start to grow, but so did my confidence. And I realized genuine engagement was the key to building meaningful connections. And then one day it happened. I got a DM from someone at LinkedIn. They had come across my content and they wanted to invite me to create a webinar on the topic of personal branding. So I was just buzzing at this point. And I remember it was during the pandemic. They wanted me to record content for their now defunct LinkedIn stories. And in case you're not familiar, it's similar to Instagram stories. And that went really well. So they sent me this big gift box that I'll show you on screen now. And after that, I thought at the time that the stories was just a national campaign. It wasn't. It turned out to be global. I started getting messages from people in India, South Africa, Trinidad, all saying that they had seen my video, sharing my personal branding tips. And then that just blew my mind because I was thinking, wow, I'm actually national, not just national, I'm global at this point. So that was super, super exciting. And then that gave me the confidence to start sharing much more video content. And at that point, I got approached by somebody at LinkedIn Learning US who had seen one of my videos on LinkedIn, and they invited me to become a LinkedIn Learning instructor. And in case you're not familiar with LinkedIn Learning, it's essentially LinkedIn's course library. They have courses on any topic that you could imagine. So becoming a LinkedIn Learning instructor was such an exciting opportunity to share and teach my expertise and have people actually do my courses. I've currently got 2 courses on the LinkedIn Learning platform. And then a few months later, after that, I then got invited to be interviewed by the Get Hired podcast. Now, Get Hired is LinkedIn's careers podcast, which is filmed at the historic Empire State Building in Manhattan, New York City, baby. That was really, really exciting as well. Like just being there in the podcast studio, having a chat all about developing your skills and essentially becoming an entrepreneur in your 9 to 5. And then more recently, I was invited to lead several personal branding workshops by LinkedIn London's team. And that was an incredible opportunity as well, because I was able to teach on the topic of mindset, storytelling, and also networking. We're going to dive deep into looking at the specific fears that come up when it comes to self-promotion, because I truly believe without mastering ourselves, we can't master anything else. So why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this just to let you know the many opportunities that are available to you once you start putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. Just remember, nothing is going to grow from comfort zones, right? We have to be bold, we have to be courageous, and we have to let people know what it is that we are passionate about and what our message is. And the one big thing that helped me throughout my journey of sharing on LinkedIn is to remember that it is not about me and it's not about you either. It is about your message. So when we flip that switch and remember that it's about our message, we become unstoppable. So I really hope that my journey inspires you in some way, especially my fellow introverts, to not stay in your comfort zone, to choose courage over comfort and start sharing your message, because honestly, you never know who is watching, and I guarantee there are people out there who need to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what resonates with you and what is something that you can do today to put yourself out there a little more. Let me know in the comments. Bye for now, and remember to like and subscribe.